An important question for our time. Write this radio 15 minutes of fame/shame. This is a multi-choice questionnaire. 5 questions. It's time to update your vision board. What are you manifesting? Finding my soulmate and then traveling the world together. Which we really don't have time for right now. You're saving up for something less. Which side hustle do you take on to earn extra cash? Wanting the social accounts of a local business. Number 3. What's your go-to weakness that's secretly a straight answer in a job interview? Or job interview, as the slang indicates. Why do we have to turn every single word of the Oxford English Dictionary under the sun into urban millennial slang? That's just appalling. Sometimes I take on more than I have time for and stretch myself too thin. That's definitely myself. Now, put on your brutally honest self-awareness how to answer this. What's actually your biggest flaw? Getting intense FOMO, fear of missing out, and have been known to get a little extra. A little extra. A little. Yeah, that. When insecurity strikes. Finally, which petty regret are you positive will still haunt you years from now? The time I was 43 weeks deep in my ex's Instagram grid and accidentally double-tapped. You see a pattern here? I'm answering all A's. And if I get mostly all A's, you know where I wind up at? Bachelor Mansion. You long for, as Ben Higgins so eloquently coined it, your person. So eloquent and so planned. So you're probably here for the right reasons. You might also get wine drunk and ugly cry on camera, but all is fair in love and reality TV wars. Right? Yes, indeed. Which brings me to my first piece of Bachelor-related news. Well, Chris Harrison. A classic case of somebody not knowing how to choose their words carefully when doing an interview on behalf of Bachelor Nation conducting official business. Marring what is otherwise an historic season of The Bachelor for the right and, I guess, wrong reasons. Matt James, the first black bachelor, mingling with one of his suitors, Rachel Connell, who has quite a very shabby history. And as you know, recently Chris Harrison went to defend Rachel's shabby historic past, and that caused him to earn a great deal of backlash. And now both sides just want out of it. Rachel Connell, she doesn't want anybody bashing her anymore, and to the same degree, she doesn't want anybody in Bachelor Nation to defend her anymore. You know what? Fine. I'm not saying anything more about Rachel Connell. I could care less about her. Just let her wallow in obscurity for the rest of her life. I think that's a fair and appropriate punishment. As for Chris Harrison, well, dude, you need to learn a bit more about American history. The antebellum era was definitely one of the most dark times in African American history. Which makes you wonder why Lady Antebellum chose that particular name for their band. And if they're definitely unpopular in the African American music community, based on that name choice alone. In all seriousness, I think Chris needs to do some serious soul searching, take some time off of the franchise, a little bit more than what he's planning. Spend time with the kids, hang with the TF, Lauren Zima, Roses In Rosewood, Entertainment Tonight. And definitely read a couple of history textbooks, because those who don't learn from their history are doomed to repeat it. And I'd say, Chris, thanks to your words, you just doomed yourself to a life of American history biting you on the behind every single time you conduct an interview on behalf of Bachelor Nation and the Bachelor family, with Extra, with TMZ, and heaven forbid, Entertainment Tonight, your girlfriend's workplace. Not to bring her into this, but it just makes the situation more awkward. And for the record, let me clear up one other thing. Yeah, a viewer by the name of Paulo Camacho suggested that I never again use the phrase, don't ever see colors in race. I actually borrowed that phrase from Chris Rock's narration from, I believe, a Season 2 episode of Everybody Hates Chris. I actually reviewed Season 3, which I picked up off of Amazon. And apparently that didn't sit too well with Paulo. I borrowed that phrase from Chris's narration from the hall monitor episode. Everybody hates hall monitors. When Chris and Greg were at odds because Chris was doing his business as a hall monitor, and it actually broke apart him and Greg's friendship. Greg is one of his only friends at Coleo Junior High. Yet, they resolved their issue in the end. So, I will try to be more cognizant of certain phrases that I borrow from one context and place it to another, but I want you to be cognizant of this. I meant I don't see colors as a way to say that, you know, I don't see you as black or Mexican or Spanish or white. Race doesn't really matter to me. It's about who I see as a person. It's about your personality. That personality that shines through is really the major factor in me forming a friendship or a relationship with you. I just care about your personality. I just want to hang with you no matter who you are, who you look like, and what you identify as, or who you identify as. Okay? These double standards can really mess with your head. Everybody copacetic? Good! Back to business. And for the record, it's time for the music industry to stop excluding black women from pop music. We'll see how this year's Grammys goes, and if Lizzo will be able to take home some more gold. This is an essay, by the way, from Cosmo writer Star Bowenbank. My Normani-loving heart has been bleeding for far too long. If that's the case, I got Fifth Harmony's Reflection on the channel in the library. And just because we're covering the news here on TSR, I thought I'd bring this up. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. On the end of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as I call them. They're not really that crappy, but you won't catch me dead watching this show anytime soon. My mother actually did while she was channel surfing. She watched a good long portion of it. She will be disciplined for that. It's been 16 years and 20 seasons. They've sold us their marriages and divorces, the births of their children, and their businesses. They stumbled, they cleaned up. We know what doing that all on camera has done for them. But what has watching it done for us? What has watching it done for Anna Peel, the author of this article? Well, made her a Kardashian scholar. She's done a very thorough and quite admirable job here, encapsulating the chronicles of the Kardashians. All the while, we're being treated to visual busts of the head Kardashian, Kim, and the rest. Khloe, Kourtney, Kendall, Kylie, and Kris. These busts were designed by Peru Meridian Studios. By the way, yes, I am very aware of the Kimye divorce and Kim Kardashian getting hit on immediately after the divorce, ending their marriage of nearly 7 years. Wow. I guess it just goes to show you that all those grandiose attempts to prove their love to each other, like hiring an orchestra to serenade each other on Mother's Day, and something along those lines, that's the only one I can remember as of right now. Well, they might work for quite some time, but they won't work in the long run. And I don't know what made the marriage crumble. You know, they separated, not technically, but they were living separately in the beginning of 2020. So many Kardashian stans, many Kimye sippers were definitely keeping track and counting down the days to when Kim would formally announce, or either of them would formally announce that they would divorce and end their marriage. I will be fair and wish them the best, and I definitely wish their children, above all, the best. We'll just see how this goes. It'll be very interesting to follow up on this Kimye divorce debacle, which will be quite expensive and quite emotionally taxing as well as financially. Not that I'm going to follow it or anything. Thank you very much for tuning in. And Bachelor Nation, don't forget to stop and smell the roses of all colors. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. And remember, you can keep a secret if one of them is dead. Like Chris Harrison's reputation if he ever again does not watch what he says when it comes to... oh, whatever. Chris, hopefully you'll learn your lesson. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.